Volcanoes cause destruction of life and property in the area around the site of volcanic eruption. Hot magma erupts in large quantities and flows on the slopes of the volcano, destroying settlements, roads, and other structures. So, in today's class, we are going to study about the destructive effects of volcanic eruptions. In the previous class, we had studied about the constructive effects. Now, these are some of the negative effects of volcanic eruption. It results in loss of life and property. Loss of property results in economic losses because houses and all get burnt, farms get burnt. Then it results in air pollution. So, ash, smoke, gases which are given out. Then lahars. These are actually the mud flow which combines with the water. They are referred to as lahars. When the agricultural fields are covered with layers of volcanic ash and dust, it makes them unsuitable for cultivation. Huge clouds are formed after the eruption of volcanoes, causing heavy rains which result in floods and landslides. Volcanoes also emit poisonous gases which pollute the environment and may cause health problems. Now, volcanic eruptions are often accompanied by earthquakes, which cause additional damage to the area by disrupting roads, railway lines, and pipelines carrying water and gas. The greatest volcanic explosion known so far is that of Mount Krakatoa in an island between Sumatra and Java. During the eruption that occurred in August 1883, dense black clouds of ash rose up to the level of more than 50 kilometers in the atmosphere. Fine dust remained suspended in the atmosphere for a long period. High waves lashed the coasts of Java and Sumatra, and about 30,000 people were drowned. So, because of the volcanic eruption, huge seismic sea waves called the tsunamis were created. Many villages were destroyed. Two-thirds of the island was blown up as a result of the explosion. So these were the destructive effects of volcanic eruption. Okay, now the distribution of volcanoes. There are evidences of volcanic activity during the long period of geological history of the Earth. There are thousands of extinct volcanoes both on the continents and the ocean floors. So, at present, the volcanoes are mostly found in the unstable portions of the Earth's crust. They are mainly the belts of the young fold mountains. So, the first belt is the Circum-Pacific Belt or the Ring of Fire. This belt contains nearly 80% of the total number of active volcanoes, and it is called the Pacific Ring of Fire because the volcanoes occur along the margins of the Pacific Ocean. This belt includes the Andes Mountains of South America and the Rockies of North America. So, then it also includes a number of volcanoes in Philippines, Indonesia, in Japan. Some of the famous volcanoes in this belt are Chimborazo, Cotopaxi in Andes, then Mount Mayon in Philippines, and Mount Krakatoa in Indonesia. The second belt of volcanoes is the Mid-World Mountain Belt. This belt of young fold mountains has fewer active volcanoes than the Circum-Pacific Belt. This belt coincides with the alpine Himalayan mountains which extend through Europe and Asia. This belt bends southwards towards the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and then merges with the Circum-Pacific Belt in Indonesia. So Mount Vesuvius, Mount Stromboli, Mount Etna in Italy are examples of volcanoes in this belt. There are no active volcanoes in the Himalayan region. And the only active volcano which is present in India is the Barren Island in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The volcanoes occur in some of the islands such as Iceland, Cape Verde, Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Then Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, these are the volcanoes which are found along the margin of the African Rift Valley. The Hawaiian Islands are volcanic islands in the Pacific Ocean where there are many isolated volcanic islands. So this was the distribution of volcanoes in the Mid-World Mountain Belt.